Hey guys, welcome to the channel where we review academic research in consumer behavior and consumer psychology. I have a PhD in marketing and use this channel to uncover insights into how we as consumers think, feel, and make decisions. We discuss what these insights mean for best practices and next level strategies in marketing. So whether you're already working in marketing or you're a student or someone who's just curious about why we do the things we do, this channel will help to deepen your knowledge of consumer behavior. In this video, we're breaking down some research about how emotion and reason battle it out when you make choices. Does this sound familiar? Like when Netflix asks if you want to keep watching Stranger Things even though you have a calc exam or client meeting at 8 a.m. Part of you really wants to see what happens with the upside down, but you know that watching another episode is probably a bad idea. We've all been there. Or maybe debating between a cheeseburger with fries or something healthier when we're really hungry. So what makes us give in to the stuff that we crave that maybe we shouldn't have? So let's dive in. First, let's define some of the technical fancy terminology used in this paper. Affect refers to the emotional side of us. It really is interchangeable with emotion. Cognition is the more rational mode where we consider information more carefully, we consider the consequences. This is when we exert willpower and self-control. This is that little voice in our head saying that we don't really need another pair of shoes. In this article, the researchers wanted to see what happens when you restrict someone's ability to think something through. Would distracting them intensify the affective emotional urges? Would it make impulsive choices harder to resist? They designed a really clever experiment to test the interplay of these two forces between affect and cognition. So what did they do? In their main experiment, they recruited participants who were given a choice between two snack foods, an indulgent chocolate cake or a more sensible fruit salad. The cake, as expected, triggered more positive emotion. It seemed much more tempting and gratifying, while the fruit salad was seen as the smarter choice when people thought more rationally about their health and nutrition. But here was the twist. Some participants were given a long 7-digit number to remember while choosing their snack. This took up brain power and made it tough for them to really carefully consider the choices between the snacks. Another group of participants got an easier 2-digit number that didn't hog cognition to the same extent. Then the experimenters measured how likely participants in each of these two groups were to choose either that indulgent cake option or the sensible fruit salad option. The idea here is that if emotion drives our decisions when reasoning is overwhelmed, for example, by needing to remember a long number, the prediction was that distracting people and their cognitive resources would lead to more cake choices. So what did they find? They found that when people were left free to consider and reflect on their options, they were more likely to make the smarter, more prudent choice, the fruit salad. But when they were distracted by that long 7-digit number that was hogging their mental bandwidth, their brain power, people were much more likely to indulge in the chocolate cake. So in that brief moment where reasoning was paralyzed, emotional desire for immediate pleasure won out over the sensible considerations of consequences for health. This is pretty fascinating stuff and revealing of the tension that exists between our emotional side and our more rational side. So what does this mean for marketers? These results seem pretty useful for getting people to buy treats without thinking, right? Companies will try to sell cookies and candy, so maybe to be more effective, they could blast loud music in stores or put out free samples so we don't have the bandwidth to really talk ourselves out of buying these treats. Think of stores that you know that are overwhelming with different stimuli, really bright, loud colors and music, smells, right? Those are all overwhelming for our senses. But really, companies should be helping us to make solid choices, right? Not messing with our heads just to make some money. Trust goes both ways. We give companies our money, they should have our back with good products that don't let us down. That's really the key to smart branding. So to recap, when people weren't mentally distracted by the long 7-digit number, they made smarter choices, the fruit. But when they were distracted by the long numbers, they went with the tastier option, the cake. Basically, when we can't think straight, emotions hijack our decisions, leading us to choose what feels good in the moment versus what makes sense for things like our health. And as always, the reference for this paper is in the description if you have access to academic journals and want to read some more. Thanks for watching.